What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Raislive. So, Battlefield 5 is supposed to be coming out this year. That's the rumor. We don't know for sure. Of course, nothing is confirmed. But I wanted to talk about some things that I feel like the next Battlefield game needs to have, as well as some things that needs to be left out in general. So, let's just get into it. So, one of the things that I think the next Battlefield game should have the ability to cook grenades. Now, for those who know now, the way the current system is that if you throw a grenade, no matter how much you hold on to the throw grenade trigger, it doesn't cook it. It just throws a grenade and the timer starts from there. Now, I feel like that's a problem. They need to have the ability to cook the grenades. Now, the reason why I say this is because the grenade is already nerfed to a certain degree. When you throw the grenade, it automatically sends out like this red line behind it. So like everybody already knows that the grenade is in the air or in your vicinity because it leaves a red marker on your screen saying that there's a grenade nearby. And I feel like with that, if it already has that, then what's the point of not having the ability to cook it? There are so many times where I'm in the battlefield and I feel like I see a bunch of enemies and I want to throw a grenade and kill them. I can kill 4, 5 of them grouped up in one bunch. But being that, when I throw the grenade, they all automatically scatter because they see it coming and it's that, you don't even have that ability to time it. Like this will help keep people from bunching up together and, it'll just add more variety. It adds a more realistic tone towards the game. And I feel like they should definitely have that ability to cook the grenades. So that's one of my reasons. Another thing that I think that they should have, they need to nerf down the tanks. Now, the tanks are just way too overpowering in my opinion. There are times where I feel like people will just constantly, I don't see, I think I would say a lot of vehicles are kind of overpowering because I would notice that people would just constantly just wait for a vehicle to spawn and just keep using the vehicle over and over, and it's just annoying because a lot of these guys, they mastered it and it's really hard. Sometimes it can get really difficult trying to get rid of a vehicle. Now, the reason I feel like the tanks in particular is because if you notice, the tanks, the RPGs don't really do that much damage to a tank. Like the best way to neutralize and get rid of a tank is by blowing it up with C4, but you have to get up close. And being that the tanks have this ability where you can see explosive devices and everything, they can tell if somebody's coming up beside them and throwing C4 on the tank, so it automatically comes up on their radar. And I feel like that is so unfair, and it just has a huge advantage in their favor, but it doesn't really have any type of thing going for us the person that's trying to get rid of the tank. I just feel like the tanks are just in a situation where they pretty much can just dominate the battlefield and they don't really have any way to counteract them. Yeah, and then I just don't like that. And then, of course, when you die, let's say you throw a couple of C4, because it takes I think it's 3 C4s to destroy the tank. So if you throw any C4s, you got 1, you got 2, you got 3, or whatever, you get to maybe your second one, and then he kills you, he notices you and just kills you. Your C4 doesn't matter after that. It doesn't automatically explode. It just goes away. Your C4 is pretty much irrelevant. It just dies out. It's like a dead charge. It doesn't matter anymore when you die. So that's just another thing that I feel like they should definitely nerf out in the next Battlefield game. Another thing I would say, the birdie. Now the birdie is if you hit the birdie with the little bird with it's the helicopter for those who don't know. If you hit the little bird with RPG, it blows up. Now that's good, but it's also very difficult to hit that damn little bird with RPG. It takes a lot of practice, and I pretty much do a good job with it. I've blown up lots of freaking helicopters with RPGs. I pretty much know how to master that type of skill or whatever. I feel that they need to have some type of balancing issue with that. I feel like a lot of people get into that thing and just pretty much just be wrecking havoc. They need to be, I don't know if they should make the controls a little more difficult for it, or should they just increase the damage, maybe even make it be it's actually suitable to for bullet hits. You can actually affect it with regular ammunition or whatever, or maybe even hit it with LMG ammunition. If you're using an LMG weapon, a heavy weapon, you can be able to it takes some damage, or even a sniper rifle too. It actually it does damage towards the bird. That to me, that will help balance out the issue, because it is very difficult to hit them because they're very small and they maneuver really good. They can hide around buildings and stay low and pretty much just stay off the radar. And I've seen too many times in too many matches where I see guys hitting the little bird and they're getting 50 kills and no deaths, just, or 60 kills, and they just constantly, if they do die, they'll just wait so another little bird pops up and get back in it and then start raping again. And it's just like, man, like that's so annoying. And it's like it's really like it's really annoying seeing that happen. Now it also makes it rewarding for guys like me who actually go out their way to make sure to get rid of it. But like the time that I spend, you know, trying to shoot it down with an RPG is valuable time that I could be on the battlefield helping my teammates out, you know, capturing, you know, flags and getting kills or whatever. So that's just one of the things. That's just one of the things that I think they should definitely fix in the next one. I also think they should bring back some, not I can't say bring back, they never had it, but they definitely should bring some gore. I know I said this in one of my other videos. They should definitely try to bring in some gore, add a new, like more, just to give it some more realistic tone to it, you know, more blood to it. But there's not enough blood in the game. I noticed, like when you shoot somebody, you don't really see blood spilling out. You don't see bullet hits. Like, I mean, these guys are getting shot with all kinds of weapons. Like, I want to see bullets, you know, I want to see bullet damage. I want it to feel like a real battlefield. Like, man, this is like the real deal right here. Like, this is some gory, you know, mess right here. Like this is really cool. Like I want to be more drawn into it, and I think they should definitely add that little aspect to it. And I think it would be really cool if they did it, because, you know, it would just make things more enjoyable, you know, just add more things to it. I also think that the vehicles, the way they handles, should be adjusted. I feel like they're a little too sluggish. Like sometimes when you're using, now I understand like the acceleration for certain, you know, vehicles require you to, you know, it takes some time, you know, I get that, but sometimes I feel that when I'm, you know, hitting like accelerate or decelerate or whatever, or reverse, I feel like it's like a stall. Like it doesn't, it's almost like my controller, it's almost like the game isn't, you know, like it has some type of lag towards my controller. Like I'll accelerate, but it doesn't accelerate as soon as I, you know, do it. Like I don't see any movement at all. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard to really explain without me like visually, you know, like showing you. But like you hit go on your like on your controller, whatever, you hit up because, you know, you push up to go and you go back. You hit you pull it back. You pull the control stick to go back to reverse and whatever, and vice versa. So when you hitting up or back, I notice that it doesn't necessarily go immediately. Like it kind of stalls before going, and I feel like that's something that needs to be adjusted. Like I just feel like it's really, I don't know, it just seems really laggy to me, and I don't like that. I think they should also adjust the team deathmatch game mode. I feel that the team deathmatch game mode is really boring. I feel like they definitely need to try to like, I think it should be 20 versus 20. I think that would make it really fun. It would be, think about it, 40 players out there just going at each other. Like I think that would really be dope. Like it needs to be 40 versus 40 team deathmatch. I think that would really help balance out, because right now as it stands, it's not really as fun. You know, I feel like, and I also think that the maps aren't really made for it. I would say, you know, like the maps they're not really enjoyable for team deathmatch. You know, they don't have that team deathmatch feel to it. Like it's hard, you know, like it just doesn't, like these maps are so big and they're just so like specifically good for like rush and conquest that, you know, team deathmatch doesn't really seem to be one of those game modes that many people have, you know, an enjoyable time with it, you know. So they should definitely do that, or try to make maybe some, I don't know, can they do like separate maps? I don't know, maybe they can. I think they need to do a better job with map design and all together in general. Like all these maps need to be designed in a way so that they can have fun playing team deathmatch, playing rush, conquest, and all your other game modes. Like it shouldn't be like, I feel like with Battlefield, a lot of these maps, and I know I said this in one of my videos too, I said that a lot of these maps are just like good for certain game modes. Like they're not good for like everything. Like, you know, and I feel like on Conquest, like they were better. Like in Conquest, you had like great game modes for like each game mode. Like the maps are good for each game mode. They definitely need to like check that out. Also, one of the things I think they need to leave out is the crossbow. Now, the crossbow is it's more like of a gimmicky type of a weapon. I think the crossbow is way too overpowering. It's a one-hit kill, for crying out loud. Like it's so freaking annoying that, you know, you get hit with a crossbow and you just automatically die. Now, the reason why I think it just needs to be left out altogether, for one, this is like this is modern, like this is like a modern warfare game. Like this is like what the soldiers are out there doing in real life, almost, as you can say, and they're not using crossbows. Like nobody is using a crossbow, nobody's using a bow and arrow. Like stop putting these little stupid gimmicky ass weapons in the game. Like just get rid of that nonsense. The main reason why I hate it is because of the one hit kill ability. And if those who don't know, a bow and arrow doesn't kill you in one hit. Like, you don't just get hit with a bow and arrow and you just drop dead and you just like, you know, like, get out of here. Like, that just doesn't happen in real life. What happens with a bow and arrow is all about shot placement, and the bow and arrow actually makes you bleed out. Like, it takes you gradually die. Like, you don't die instantaneously. Like, you gradually bleed out until you die. So if you hit somebody in a good spot, hit them in the lungs, hit them in the kidneys, something like that, they will eventually just bleed out and die. And I think they should like add that to it. Like, if you're gonna put it in the game, make it so that, you know, that is realistic. You know, you get shot and your health gradually goes down and goes down and goes down and goes down. And maybe you can do something like, I would say like, maybe you could say like the medic doesn't, you know, like it negates medic effects. Like if you get hit with a crossbow or whatever, your health will go down, but you can't like use, you know, a medic pack to like revive yourself. Maybe that, but then again, that would be unrealistic because if you're using a medic pack, you're trying to heal yourself, so it would make sense to have that ability. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? That's up in the air. I don't know exactly how they should do that, but I do think for one, that crossbow situation, that bow and arrow thing needs to be adjusted. Like, you shouldn't be hitting somebody with a crossbow or bow and arrow and they dying in one hit. Like, it needs to be a gradually death. Like, you need to bleed out. Like, that's the correct way to do it. Now, the rest of the things that I feel like they needed to fix in the next Battlefield game is mostly from a technical standpoint. I think a lot of the issues from this game really come from technical standpoint. Now, of course, a lot of it has been patched, lately over time, that we no longer have the rubber banding issues and all the lag problems, but we still have a couple of technical issues that I feel that needs to be adjusted. Like, for one, crashing into invisible walls. Like, I've seen that way too many times in this game where I'm just like I can't go any further. Like, there's just an invisible wall sitting there, and it's something you can do, like you can't go through it or whatever. I also hate when you're driving around in the vehicle and like at like high speed. I noticed that you're like lagging all over the place. You're just jumping around, like, and if you're like turning your vehicle left and right, left and right. Now, this is, some of it has something to do with, you know, just the overall vehicle controls, but a lot of it is just technical issues. It's like you moving from side to side or whatever, and you're just lagging. You're just choppy everywhere, and you're bouncing around. And let's say like you jump over a ramp, that you land on the ground. I noticed that like I don't know what it is, the camera ink. No, it's not even just the camera. It's the entire system is just flawed. Like, you will like hit a ramp or whatever, bounce up in the air, land on the ground, and like the camera just has this, like, it just zooms in and zooms automatically out really fast, and it's just a hot mess, man. It's just terribly poor design, and I think they definitely need to fix that and adjust that in the next Battlefield game. Everything needs to feel smooth. It needs to be smooth. Not no more. I'm sick of this lag and all these technical issues. Now, I feel like with this game, it should definitely be possible. Like, we shouldn't have these problems anymore. You guys had a terrible start with the Battlefield 4 game, so I think the next Battlefield game should be definitely a great game. And I think that if they can, like, you know, add these things that I, you know, mentioned. Now, I'm not speaking for everybody. Like, I know there's a lot of other things people want in the game, and a lot of things that they want to see or don't want to see or whatever. I'm just saying, from my personal experience, these are just some things that I think that will definitely help out for everybody across, you know, the globe or whatever, because these are like some common issues I think people always see people complaining about. So hopefully they fix them. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say right now. That's all I really have right now. And it's your boy Raislive. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I see you guys on my next video. I'm out. Peace.